Hello and welcome. Ukraine's pioneering success in drone warfare leaves Russian forces defenseless. The ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia has seen significant advancements in military technology, particularly in the use of drones. Ukraine's innovative approach to drone warfare has not only alarmed Russian forces but has also rendered them increasingly vulnerable. This article delves into Ukraine's strategic use of modified FPV drones to counter Russian reconnaissance UAVs, highlighting the implications and future prospects of this development. The rise of modified FPV drones in Ukraine. The Ukrainian military has effectively utilized modified first-person view (FPV) drones to target and destroy Russian reconnaissance UAVs. These FPV drones, initially popular in the realm of drone racing and recreational use, have been repurposed for military applications. Their agility, speed, and affordability make them formidable tools in the Ukrainian arsenal. Alarm bells in Russia. The success of Ukraine's drone strategy has not gone unnoticed by Russian military officials. Alexander Kenko, a Russian military correspondent, expressed his concerns on his Telegram channel, stating that Ukrainian forces have increasingly begun to shoot down Russian UAVs. This, he noted, is a significant and alarming signal for Russia. Kenko further highlighted that while the immediate impact of these drone attacks does not result in human casualties, the long-term consequences could be severe. The ability of Ukraine to neutralize Russian UAVs effectively could set Russian military capabilities back by a generation, forcing them to operate in a two-dimensional battlefield while Ukraine advances in three-dimensional warfare. Cost-effective and efficient. One of the key advantages of FPV drones is their cost-effectiveness. These drones are significantly cheaper than traditional reconnaissance drones, allowing Ukraine to deploy them in large numbers without a substantial financial burden. This affordability also enables the Ukrainian armed forces to replace other, more expensive weapons systems with these versatile drones. Kenko mentioned that FPV drones could reach speeds of up to 500 km per hour, posing a threat to enemy UAVs, including the Russian-made Geranium drones. The high speed and maneuverability of FPV drones make them difficult targets for traditional air defense systems. A new dimension in air defense. The adaptability and stealth of FPV drones have revolutionized air defense strategies. Unlike traditional air defense systems that rely on large, multi-ton vehicles, FPV drones can be operated by small teams using minimal equipment. Kenko pointed out that even two people on motorcycles equipped with FPV drones could constitute a potent air defense system, challenging to detect and counter. Detecting and destroying enemy drones. The Ukrainian military has developed an effective system for detecting and destroying enemy drones. This capability is crucial, as FPV drones, despite their advantages, require precise targeting information to engage effectively. Without this detection system, an FPV drone operating at high altitudes would struggle to locate and neutralize enemy targets. The strategic implications. The deployment of FPV drones by Ukrainian forces has significant strategic implications. It demonstrates a shift towards more agile, cost-effective, and technologically advanced warfare. The ability to neutralize enemy reconnaissance capabilities disrupts the opponent's situational awareness, which is critical in modern combat. Kenko's observations underscore a broader concern within the Russian military establishment. The lack of effective countermeasures against Ukrainian FPV drones highlights a gap in Russia's air defense capabilities. This vulnerability could lead to increased losses and operational challenges for Russian forces. Conflict zones. The most intense clashes are currently reported in the Tel-Aviv direction, with Russian forces attempting to break through Ukrainian air defenses near Novo-Alexandrova, Ivanovo-Sakal, and Umansky. These areas have become focal points in the ongoing conflict, with both sides striving to gain the upper hand. The future of drone warfare. The success of Ukraine's drone strategy could pave the way for broader adoption of similar technologies by other nations. As drone technology continues to evolve, military forces worldwide will likely invest in developing and countering such capabilities. The lessons learned from the Ukrainian experience will be invaluable in shaping the future of warfare. Conclusion. Ukraine's pioneering use of modified FPV drones has significantly impacted the ongoing conflict with Russia. These drones have not only neutralized Russian reconnaissance capabilities but have also exposed critical vulnerabilities in Russian air defenses. As the conflict continues, the strategic use of drones will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in determining the outcome. The evolution of drone warfare, as demonstrated by Ukraine, marks a new era in military strategy and technology. Ukraine's strategic advances and rising nuclear tensions with Russia. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia continues to escalate, marked by significant military maneuvers and heightened nuclear rhetoric. Recent developments in the Luhansk region and the increasing demands from Russian nationalists for nuclear posturing have underscored the volatility of the situation. This article examines the latest advancements by Ukrainian defense forces and the implications of Russia's nuclear threats, offering a comprehensive analysis of the current geopolitical landscape. Advances in the Luhansk region. The Ukrainian defense forces have made notable progress in the Luhansk region, a critical area in the ongoing conflict. Brigade units advanced 1 km in depth and 2 km along the front, completing a significant stage of their offensive operations. This advance not only showcases the strategic capabilities of the Ukrainian military but also highlights their determination determination to reclaim and secure territories. In addition to their progress in the Luhansk region, Ukrainian forces successfully pushed back Russian troops from the village of Lipy in the Kov region. This move signifies a crucial victory, disrupting Russian supply lines and weakening their defensive positions. These advancements reflect the resilience and tactical acumen of the Ukrainian military in the face of formidable opposition. Rising nuclear tensions. As the conflict intensifies, so do the threats emanating from Russia. Russian nationalists have escalated their rhetoric, demanding that the Kremlin target U.S. cities with nuclear missiles. A group of Russian National Liberation Movement (NOD) members recently marched through the streets, chanting and calling for the deployment of Russian nuclear warheads aimed at American cities. Their demands included specific mentions of RS-24Y missiles, RS-28 Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missiles, and Poseidon torpedoes. The protesters, led by members of the pro-Kremlin NOD group founded by Yevgeny Fyodorov, carried flags adorned with the black and orange stripes of the ribbon of St. George. This symbol, once used to commemorate World War II veterans, has in recent years become associated with Russian nationalism and militarism. The ribbon was banned in Ukraine in 2017 due to its controversial symbolism. Putin's nuclear threats. In a recent meeting with Russia's foreign ministry leadership, President Vladimir Putin issued a stark warning, stating that the world is dangerously close to a point of no return regarding nuclear deployment. Putin's rhetoric is seen as an attempt to influence NATO and U.S. policies, leveraging the threat of nuclear escalation to deter Western intervention and support for Ukraine. John Isaacs, a senior fellow at the Center for Arms Control and Nonproliferation, described Putin's statements as threats intended to manipulate Western behavior. In an interview with Newsweek, Isaacs emphasized that Putin is using these threats as one of his few remaining strategies in the absence of significant victories on the ground. He argued that the U.S. should view these threats as a false flag, serious in tone but unlikely to be carried out due to the catastrophic consequences for both Russia and the global community. Strategic and tactical implications. The advancements by Ukrainian forces in the Luhansk region represent a crucial phase in their broader strategy to reclaim territory and weaken Russian military capabilities. These operations are not merely tactical successes but also serve as significant psychological blows to Russian forces. The successful pushback in areas like Lipy disrupts Russian logistics and showcases the effectiveness of Ukraine's defensive and offensive strategies. Conversely, the aggressive nuclear posturing by Russian nationalists and the Kremlin's leadership underscores a different facet of the conflict. The demands for nuclear targeting of U.S. cities highlight the desperation and aggressive nationalism within certain factions of Russian society. Putin's nuclear threats, while alarming, also reveal a strategic calculus aimed at deterring further Western support for Ukraine. These threats are intended to create fear and uncertainty, hoping to force NATO and the U.S. into a more cautious approach. The global implications. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia has significant global implications, particularly regarding nuclear security and geopolitical stability. The aggressive rhetoric from Russian nationalists and the Kremlin's threats could lead to increased tensions not only in Eastern Europe but also on a global scale. Any escalation in nuclear posturing risks triggering a broader conflict that could involve multiple global powers. For the international community, these developments necessitate a careful and measured response. While it is crucial to support Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, it is equally important to manage and mitigate the risks associated with nuclear threats. Diplomatic efforts must be intensified to de-escalate the situation and to seek a peaceful resolution to the conflict. Conclusion. The recent advancements by Ukrainian defense forces in the Luhansk region and the escalating nuclear rhetoric from Russia underscore the complexity and volatility of the ongoing conflict. Ukraine's strategic maneuvers demonstrate their resilience and tactical proficiency, while Russia's nuclear threats highlight a dangerous escalation in the rhetoric and stakes of the conflict. The international community must navigate these developments with caution, balancing support for Ukraine with efforts to prevent a catastrophic escalation of hostilities. As the situation evolves, the need for diplomatic engagement and strategic clarity becomes ever more critical.